Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Welcome to today's episode of How You're Getting Effed. I'm your host, Louis Rossman. Today we're going to be continuing to go over that point that right to repair is something that has so much more to do than just me talking about consumer electronics, smartphones, and Apple. Before we get started on that, let's get today's video sponsor, uBlock Origin and Sponsor Block. uBlock Origin is a browser plugin that allows you to block just about every single advertisement and annoying thing that you're going to see on the internet. It is open source, which means the source code is being audited regularly by many people to ensure that if they start doing anything screwed up, you'll be the first to know. Unlike many other ad blocker plugins, this ad blocker plugin does not have some sort of supported ads or feature where you can pay the ad block plugin creators to have your ads whitelisted. You can choose what is whitelisted, but you choose it's whitelisted, not somebody else. There's also another plugin here that is open source as well, which means it's audited regularly by many people, called Sponsor Block. It gets rid of annoying segments in YouTube videos. This was a plugin that we used to be against here with management and I, because one of the problems is that I would get set as the featured content in the video and the kitty would get marked as the filler content. However, in recent times, I have been marked as the filler content and he has been marked as the featured content. And ever since this change occurred, management has decided that they've changed their opinions. Actually, you're not Clinton, you're BlackBerry. Oh my God. Okay, I thought that was Clinton. Either way, I'm sure BlackBerry would agree that now that I am the filler content in the video and the kitty is the featured content in the video, we have done a complete 360 on our support for this particular browser extension. Sponsor Block and uBlock Origin. You will not usually hear me telling you what to do, but if there's one thing you can trust me on, it's that when you install a good ad blocker, the internet just becomes a much better place. Your time is priceless, and this gives you that back. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Anyway, into the topic of today's video. Today's video is going to be on Terumo Cardiovascular. There's a letter that's been flying around that 404 Media, I'll leave a link to them down below, has gotten a copy of, and I would like to read this to you. This is regarding a machine that reroutes blood during open heart surgeries. It's important. You need this kind of stuff to work. Dear valued customer, we are reaching out to inform you, here we go, zoomed in version. Dear valued customer, we are reaching out to inform you of an upcoming change in our offerings related to the Terumo Advanced Perfusion System 1 Heart-Lung Machine, System 1. Discontinuation of certification classes. Beginning on January 1st, 2025, Terumo Cardiovascular Systems Corporation will no longer offer certification classes for the repair and/or preventative maintenance of the System 1 and its components. We recognize the value that these certification classes have provided and would like you to know that we made the decision to discontinue the offering with careful consideration. Well, that just makes it so much better now, doesn't it? Your current certification will remain valid through its expiration date, but will not be renewed once it expires. Please be assured that while certification classes will no longer be available, our commitment to supporting you remains a top priority. Terumo Cardiovascular will continue to provide direct servicing for the System 1 and its components. Our dedicated service team is here to assist with any maintenance, troubleshooting, and technical support needs. If you have any questions about this change or need further assistance, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you for understanding and your continued trust in Terumo Cardiovascular, which is just one of these things that gaslighting assholes do, because you're implying that I trust you at all. Thank you for continuing to trust us as we screw you. So there's a few points that I think are really important to get across here. The first one is that there's very often this criticism that unauthorized people are not going to do a good job, or that independents do not want to become certified. And that couldn't be further from the truth. The reality is that in many cases, certification does not make you a real repair center. Very often, certification is something that leads you to it's literally not being able to replace the charge port in an iPhone. As I went over in this video, I called up many certified repair shops and recorded the phone conversations so that you can hear what they're allowed to do. There was a spokesperson from the company that said they saw declining participation in the program and determined the best way to move forward was to require servicing through Terumo Cardiovascular's genuine in-house service team to continue to ensure Terumo devices are properly maintained. Now, when they say that there has been a declining participation in the program, they never really say why, and that's really important. For instance, with the Apple Authorized Service Provider program, if I'm not allowed to replace a charge port in an iPhone and I have to tell somebody it's going to take them 2 weeks and has to get mailed back and forth or something like that, which is what Apple used to do back in the day, this is one of those things where you may see declining participation in the program because the program doesn't actually allow you to do your job well. And I'm wondering if something like that is the case here. You'll hear things like people don't want to become certified, but they won't tell you how the manufacturer will not allow them to become certified to do the actual jobs they want to do. Or you can become certified, but once you become certified, you're not actually allowed allowed to do the jobs that would be necessary to create an economically viable repair. Lastly, this is not even necessarily about the money. It really has to do with the time. One of the things that you'll hear if you listen to any of the interviews I've done on this channel with farmers, such as Kevin Kenny, it's not even the money, it's the idea of being without the device for 1 or 2 or 3 weeks, or sometimes even a month, when you have only one person that's able to fix the device. If you only have one company that can fix the device, that means that you are at their mercy. You're at the mercy of their schedule. Even if they're willing to do the repair for free, if you're waiting 2 weeks for them to come out and you have a harvest that you really need to start preparing 2 days from now, you are massively screwed even if the repair is free. And when you're talking about a piece of equipment that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars that is utilized during open heart surgery, you really can't afford to go weeks to months without that thing in a hospital. And this is one of the areas where I try and like to flip it over a little bit when people say that an improper repair being done, a 0.001% risk of an improper repair being done could result in somebody being harmed. But having the machine offline and not able to be used can also result in people being harmed. And I don't see any cases so far of demonstrating that people have been harmed or hurt in any way, shape, or form as a result of this program being available. It's just one of the hundreds of thousands of millions of little cuts in the ability to say that you own what you bought and paid for, and you bet your ass that stuff like this winds up making healthcare more expensive as well as less accessible. Less machines, less accessible, more expensive and slower repairs, more expensive healthcare. Above all, there's a video that I did on right to repair and the FDA a long time ago on this channel. It was a video going over... Where did I put this video, man? Come on. Eh? 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 Huh? Huh. Aha! This is the document that I went over from 2018. This was a very long time ago. This is from the FDA on third-party servicing and the quality, safety, and effectiveness of servicing medical devices. The currently available objective evidence is not sufficient to conclude whether or not there's a widespread public health concern related to servicing, including by third-party servicers, of medical devices that would justify imposing additional or different burdensome regulatory requirements at this time. Rather, the objective evidence indicates that many OEMs and third-party entities provide high-quality, safe, and effective servicing of medical devices. A majority of the complaints, comments, and adverse effects reports alleging that inadequate servicing caused or contributed to clinical adverse effects and death actually pertain to remanufacturing and not servicing, and, above all, from the FDA themselves, the continued availability of third-party entities to service and repair medical devices is critical to the functioning of the U.S. healthcare system. The continued availability of third-party entities to service and repair medical devices is critical to the functioning of the U.S. healthcare system. This, in my opinion, has nothing to do with them caring about devices being repaired properly or caring about your safety. It's about the money. It's about the money. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. And you, being so well-behaved, little Blackberry, you get a greenie. Blackberry doesn't talk. She legit just never speaks. She's a very quiet kitty. Blackberry? 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 Okay, she burrs. I don't know if you heard the burr. It's that little burr. Good kitty, good kitty, good kitty, good kitty. You haven't installed an ad blocker by the time this video is over. I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm just going to be very disappointed. See you in the next one.